Alright guys, let's recap what it is that we just did today. So first of all, we zoomed out of the charts to see what price really is doing on the higher time frames, and we see that there is this long range that it created right here, and we've been inside of this range for over a year now, and we are in the premium zone of this external range. Now, zooming into the most recent price action, we see that price has also created a smaller range on the daily time frame after it swept through this liquidity and ran through this buy side right here. So now that it created an external shift in market structure in the premium zone, I want to see price pull back into the discount zone of this range in order for it to ultimately take out this external range. But zooming in, I could see price pulling back on the lower time frames for sellers to, or buyers to mitigate their orders. So let's zoom in to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we can see a more clear idea of what it is that price is doing. Okay, so after price swept this liquidity right here, shifted in market structure higher after it swept this buy side liquidity as well, we could see that price is in a premium range right now, and it could go lower in order to go higher in the long run. Okay, so we could see something like this where it could go lower, rebalancing all of this imbalance right here, and ultimately go higher and take out this external range right here that we've been in for over a year. But coming into next week, we can look at price and see that last week price has been going up, creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then on Thursday it created another higher high after it swept this one, and then created a lower low when it swept previous day's lows. Okay, and when it displaced lower and took out these lows right here, it left behind a fair value gap that we see right here. Now when it pulled back into it, it then displaced lower again, and this time it created a shift in market structure. Now, what do we see here after it shifted this market structure? We see that price left behind a SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. It created a fair value gap right here. Okay, so what I would like to see price doing is pulling back into this imbalance, rebalancing it, and then continuing going lower to rebalance all of these imbalances right here. Okay, now I don't usually, this is not how I look at the charts while I'm trading. I like to keep it simple and take off as much lipstick as I can in order to avoid and eliminate all of my distractions. Okay, so this is what I would like price to do for next week, or see price do next week. Since it shifted this market structure, I want to see it pull back and rebalance this imbalance and then continue going lower. Now to rebalance these imbalances, I can ultimately see it rebalance this large BISI right here, and then it could take out this low, or it could just accumulate more orders here and continue running higher, taking out this external range high. Okay, so if we were to go down on the 1 hour time frame, we see that it's doing the same thing. Okay, so it displaced higher after it swept liquidity, shifted or swept buy side liquidity, then shifted lower, created this imbalance, which we don't see an imbalance here on the 1 hour time frame. But this is why it's important to work our way backwards from the higher time frame. Because when we look at the higher time frame, we know that on the daily chart there is an imbalance right here. On the 4-hour chart, or on the 4-hour chart time frame, we see that there's an imbalance right here. Okay, but on the 1-hour time frame, it's not here. But we can see on the 1-hour time frame that there is an inverse fair value gap right here that price pulled back into and continued going lower. But I'm going to keep this the way it is since this is the 4-hour fair value gap, and I'll write it down. Just like so. Okay? And now on Friday, when price rebalanced this 4-hour imbalance, it displaced lower, created a shift in market structure, left behind this imbalance. Now price did tap into it, but I want to give price more room to breathe, which means that it could consolidate a little in this area and then rebalance this right here, create a pool of liquidity, then sweep it, and then continue going lower. This is what I would like price to do next week. Now, keeping in mind what's going on in the Middle East right now is really going to affect the market, and of course it's definitely going to change history. I mean, Israel and Palestine and Gaza were going at it for a very long time, and now this is really going to change history. And right now we're in a time where it's going to change everything, so we got to keep that in mind, especially for the markets. We could see a lot of volatility coming in the next week, and for however long it's going to last. So we'll see what happens and go from there. Okay, so going down to the 15-minute time frame, we see that price is doing the same thing. Last week it just went up and then went down. So next week we could see it do. We could see price doing the same thing after it rebalances this imbalance, of course. So that would be it for today, guys. We have this USDCAD analysis for Sunday, October 8th, 2023. And now we just wait for tomorrow, see what price does. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like on this video. Talk to you guys next time.